As we introduce heat number 5 of the round of 16, Italo Ferreira, one of the best out here in the pool, taking on a wild card named Mateus Herdy, who we enjoyed a conversation with yesterday in the booth. Loves a chat, likes to talk about his future, likes to talk about the best surfing in the world, and he was able to put together an unbelievable run at night in the night session last night. So he'll be taking off first against Italo. Mateus now setting up that first turn. Little fade there. Another great team rider for Jason Stevenson on JS Industries. There's a cool connection off the lip. Now sitting with a nice stance there in the barrel. Little top turn connection. Really trying to push it deep off the bottom, covering a lot of the wave there. Nice snap to slide. You can tell he's really trying not to get too far out in front. Just really sticking to the pocket now, running after the alley-oop. A go-to move. Easy landing for Mateus. Little fading cut back, and he will ride away. Leandra enjoyed it. So did Jack Robinson.
So did we. That's a great way to start. There's a few touch-ups that he has to do in order to get that wave together perfectly. One turn that comes to mind is that first turn after that barrel, or he didn't even, the first barrel that he kind of went around, got a bit sticky, but beautiful way to open up the first few turns on rail. Nice finner right there. Right here, he gets a little barrel, but then he exited out a little bit early, and he opens up, nice bottom turn, but gets a bit sticky. Like there's more left on the bone right there, and this starts to get better. He's going to push that fin, bring that board all the way back around, and finish it off with a beautiful alley-oop. But there is 10% more of him in each turn that he did on this wave. Obviously, I'm being critical, but this is what I expect from those guys.
Rio's already planning on a big day. He said he's got 3 rounds to surf through. That means he's mentally there to see him on the podium. This is Mateus, first wave of 7. Second turn, throwing some water. Nice move off the lip, and now laying low. Just got that classic little hug in the pocket where he can just channel that nice easy pace. Doesn't want to run too fast, doesn't want to get too deep, but doesn't want to look like he's wasting time on that part of the wave. Off the lip, nicely done in the critical part, pulling in early. He's going to be pretty deep up, not too bad. Nice release, good execution in the barrel, and pops the tail out backhand, doesn't reverse. Just so good with staying over his board. Oftentimes backside, that could be an awkward landing when you're not pulling the reverse around, but his ability in the air made him pull it around.
There's a different degree of difficulty on that turn. When you're keeping the momentum throughout the whole turn, it's easier for you to kind of just push and kick as hard as you can and control it. This one, you have to push it hard, but then you have to stomp it on the brakes and make sure that fin engages again and spins back the same way you started. So way more control and very technical, very hard to do it. Great way to finish.
Mateus finishing his first run. It'll be Italo's turn to answer here in the round of 16, heat number 5. When we come back, we'll bring in Paul Evans, Flick Palmatier, and Stace Galbraith for the call.
What we have to say about rumours. Less rumours, more live surfing, Paul. Look at this. I'm frothing. What a heat.
Getting into it now. Here we go. Waiting with bated breath for this action. Italo Ferreira up swinging. Backhand from him. Finalist last time out. He wanted the win. Let's see how he goes about getting into quarters. Airdrop, float down. He'll park it in the pit. Make himself real compact. Completely disappear. Cover. He'll just shake a lip to the head off. Take it all in his stride and give that a spank. Doing loads. He'll ditch the fins, reverse around, easy as you like. A squirt on the gas pedal, pumping it deep, and again, out he comes. And fire from Italo Ferreira ain't done yet. Another one of those below tail reverses on the backhand just to finish into the channel.
Wow, that was incredible. It's sort of, Mateus was asking the question, he's put down 2 pretty solid numbers, and it's sort of like it fired Italo right up. He was just surfing so fast, so electric. It's kind of what we know from Italo, but it seems like he's clicked up a couple of notches. What did you see, Stace?
I just saw excellence. I saw this guy's just thinking, Griffin's done. I lost to him here last time. He's not even going to be there this time, and I'm putting myself straight into that final. That is the craziest answer back. If you're Mateus, you're sitting there going, wow, this is really one of the big dogs, and he just showed that.
For sure. I mean, just so much creativity. Just got so much whip out of that reverse. Gets around this section so deep here in this last tube section. Comes out, taps it again. He's super fired up. This is the kind of heat that we were going to expect from these two surfers. Gets that creativity at the end. And yeah, Stace, I think I'm on the same page there. That is feeling really, really good.
Yeah, getting back to working hard. I honestly haven't been working that hard. This has been an absolute breeze. But I know Italo's been working hard on his surf, and I think he's dropped the width a bit on his boards. And I reckon you can see with turns like that, he's really zapping through them. And, typically it hadn't been his strength, that simultaneous backside manoeuvres linked up together. But today, and what we've seen just here.
Here's the response straight away to complete the run. He'll get 2 runs, of course. Best right and best left will score Ferreira. He'll chop a turn to open up. We'll give that one a bit of treatment. Lay back energy into the tube. So 2 maneuvers into the tunnel. Ferreira, out he'll come here. Now what's he got? This section crucial for him. Look how much swing he gets in these visits to the lip. And then just snaps one out in the pockets. Setting up pretty early here for a ramp section. He'll get an absolute ton of speed. He'll go massive with the hoop straight down to the flats, and then an angry snap on the transition to finish. An epic response from Ferreira on the left, and it's with the panel now.
Whew. Wow, that was so high. It was so lofty. He covered a lot of ground too on that air. I love, you could just see him winding up for it. It's that expectation. How big's he going to go? He went giant. And there was a lot of work that got done before that. If you think back to that performance section 2, just how critical, that layback jam in the pocket. And then this is that first barrel, maximises that tube time. The damage that he got done out of this was pretty impressive. Big fin release there. Followed up by a second one. He knows he's done 2 of the same, so he gets a little bit of differentiation there with that layback, and then lining up for this inside section, Stace.
Yeah, like you said, Paul, he was pretty early to set it up, but you knew the earlier they'd set it up, the more speed and the higher he's going to get, and just straight into the transition. Thanks for coming. I wondered if the 667 was going to get him fired up in a bad way, and to be honest, when he started that wave, it looked like he was, trying his absolute hardest to get the wave going, but I was stoked to see him get to this point in the wave still on his board, because in the warm-ups we've been seeing this, and for him to do it with the Rashi on, that's another level, and that's one of the best ones we've seen.
Wow, he just travelled so far, the distance, right? Definitely got the loft and the height there, but for me, it was just that distance travelled. Just had so much speed going into it, just carried that through the air.
And no doubt it was to do with the wind. So the wind's a little lighter today, and to be honest, no one really knew what to do with the middle part of the wave. And it was surprising to see. But with time and everyone surfing, they figure it out.
Here goes Herdy, up into it, driving bottom turn, and just letting these manoeuvres breathe, using that rail. This one was a nice sting into the lip, and then into the tube, covering a bit of ground, a couple of pumps. Doesn't go for extended, prolonged cover, but what he does do is come out with an absolute spring in his step. That is super nimble, cavalier style surfing. Love the audacious approach. So light on his feet and creative, and ultra confident when sections stand up, as this one will. And he'll put that down. Mateus Herdy, saw him drop one of those in a clip from the free surf in the warm-up. Tried to get the stalefish grab on the alley-oop, and he nailed that one. Saw it on his Insta, I admired it. I thought, okay, we'll be seeing that in the comp. Trying it there, doesn't quite get it.
Oh, you've got to give it to him, though. Putting it all on the line. He just heard the score drop for Italo. Gets that grab. Almost but then the board's going all the way around. Just a little bit of wind maybe got underneath it. What do you think, Stace?
Yeah, it's a tricky one. The section is so hard to time.
His left hand up. What's he got for us here? The improvement looking for 5.6. So his 7 will stick from his opening right. 5.6, that's highly improvable for a surfer like him. He'll drop straight down the wave. Just a couple of sort of flicks off the tail, really. There's a 3rd. That's nice. Good amplitude to that. And then he'll get himself in that sort of italicized capital C type backhand tube formation. And he'll do it well. Nice control of the speed on the bottom of that bowl. And then a vertical tag into the lip. This one, he will release and he'll drift and he'll try and spin. And he won't do that, and he won't improve on the 5-6 either. It's actually a hefty number he was after. He did need to go excellent. 818 was the requirement. So, I mean, that's why we saw that approach. But
2 burner waves coming up here. You guys are both goofy. I'll take the right. You guys split the left.
He's got a ton of momentum behind him into quarters already. So a chance for a free swing. He is a showman, natural entertainer, tons of energy. Here he'll go. On a right, let's see what he's got on offer here. Talked about surface, maybe trying to keep some kind of stuff under wraps. He'll reverse out of the lip, straight into the tube. Super creative entry, a tricky one to do. And he'll put that down in the early part of the wave. So Italo, without the pressure of having to try and find a score, really just exploring the wave along different avenues. A surfer like him, look to try and do different things, just keep it interesting for himself. There's different ways he can get inspired. Part of it is by trying to get a score, but otherwise just kind of surfing against himself, really, just surfing against performance.
Yeah, for sure. I think, you know, why wouldn't he push it right now? You can sort of see too, when he's driving through these first couple of turns, he's pushing really hard. This second one here, I was like, right, he's going to go pretty full on, just drives super deep back into the pocket and thinks, why not? Like, let's go, let's get creative. Let's see if this section can handle this sort of maneuver here. It's just sort of trial and error right now. These are essentially what Stace just said. You know, they're sort of 2 free runs, 2 burner waves essentially. No pressure. See if you can get straight up underneath that lip there to get into the tube.
He's a hard one to crack, but I won't stop. I'm persistent, pest, if you will.
Boundaries, huh? Yeah, boundaries, Steve. Still figuring them out. Here goes Italo Ferreira. No limits to what he can do with his surfing, particularly on this left. Let's see what he'll do here. Already got a massive number with the 8-5 into the lip. Look how much flamboyance he gets with that release. He just slaps it down and then slotting in here. Ferreira out. And he'll huck it.
Whoa.
That's so technical how he whipped that back around. Ferreira again with a transition section that he'll do a spanking snap. So just so unique in terms of his line. Massive ramp here. Look out. And he'll go again. Real lofty and wafty one. It just span away from under his feet at the end. It's so creative. You just can't really take your eyes off this guy.
Wow, it's so good. I just love it when they put it all on the line in that mid-section of the wave. You know, there's so much risk involved in doing that. I mean, you risk the whole rest of the wave. One wrong move, and I mean, let's have a look. I mean, even that, just so late up into this little tube here. Really steps on the brakes, but it was what was done after this, that maneuver, just so inverted and just landing in the absolute steepest section of the wave. The recovery after this, just so beautiful to watch. Jams it a couple of times and then pumps on the gas. You can really see he's lining up for this end section. Just a giant alley-oop once again. What'd you make of that, Stace?
I love it. The middle part of the wave there is exactly what he kind of couldn't get figured out on the right, but this is the first time he's done this in a rash fest, this event. He's had a couple of them in the warm-ups, but it's a different story once you go out for your heat. And again, just taking that information into finals day, he's going to be feeling so good pulling that off. That was wild.
Like, does not get any steeper than that section. It's so cupped out, and so once you get caught behind on this wave too, it's so hard to get back out in front of it. But Italo is just such a fast surfer. You can see it here, just spring loaded and seriously high. I mean,
and just what makes those airs so difficult. But he looks so amazing on that wave, and he'll be stoked making it out of this heat.
Ferreira into quarters. Great looking matchup with Herdy. Coming out the gate strong, but unable really to consolidate and carry on.